Meeting of the Sherman County Board of County Commissioners comes to order. 15 minutes of public forum.
Did you get this? What's up?
You heard the resolution. I
Yeah.
read it on the iPad. On the
Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay. Yep. Got it. Yep. Yeah, so you got other stuff that you need to be doing? I mean, you want to come up or?
Yeah.
Don't you think? We don't have any public comments. So.
Public comments, please come forward.
So we're coming today to speak about a program that we put together for Match Day and for Sherman County, City of Goodland. It's going to be called the Sherman County Community Access and Information Program. It's a two-part program that Melody and myself joined together to make not only it easier for access to patients or people in the community, but to also be able to have medical information up front in case of an emergency. I will let Melody explain her part of the program first.
Mine is I would like to get money to put lock boxes on people's houses who maybe don't necessarily have someone that can be right there to unlock the door for them if they need 911 or fire or any of that stuff. We went to a house the day of Flatlanders and we were unable to get into. This lady is what prompted our idea of this program. It took us 20 some minutes to get into her house to help her. Luckily, we could see her scooting along on the floor, and so we didn't let the police break the door because she was waving at us and whatnot and basically seemed okay. But we couldn't get in there for quite some time, and that kind of made me nervous because that's 20 minutes of life-saving capabilities that we could be doing that now we can't because we can't get in. We have noticed since then there's been 3 or 4 other calls of this same kind of thing happening, or somebody has a key hidden somewhere and it takes us a while to find that to get into the house, or some are just simply sticking it under a rock next to their door, which technically is unsafe for them, elderly people especially. And so we're trying to find a better way to make it work for them. I've researched some lock boxes so that we could purchase them. We would put them on. It's her and I and Jason Earhart have worked really well together. Jason was on that call with me to figure out how these lock boxes are going to get put on there, etc. We're doing it through EMS, but it's not where you would call EMS to figure out about a lockbox. It's one of the 3 of us that we've made that clear, I think, to most people that we're the ones you got to contact, especially her and I will get the lock boxes put on for you. We do not intend these lock boxes to be for personal use. So if we came and put one on your house, we are not telling you the code. The only people that will have the code is the 911 system. They're going to put everybody's code in their CAD so that if you call 911 or someone calls for you, then they'll tell us to call for key information. They'll give us the code and we can get the key out of the box. We do intend to put the key boxes somewhere other than right next to the front door so that it detours thieves, etc.
My next question is going to be obviously liability.
Mhm.
Have you gone over this with Brett?
Brett's hearing about it today.
Okay.
The city attorney has heard about it as well.
Okay.
We're hoping that they can get together. We did give them a small little contract kind of thing. We're hoping that they can get together and sort out how I can word that contract to where that we're not liable. You understand that, right?
Yeah, and the question I need to answer, Rod, is what the best way for the mechanics of this to work. I think it's a great program, great idea.
Yeah.
But from the county perspective and the city perspective, I'll talk with Jake. Is it better for dispatch to have that code and the homeowner not, or is it better for us to not? Nobody associated with the county or the city to know about it, but we have two people or three people we can call that knows that code. That's the liability issue I'm concerned about, is with us having the code versus somebody else. But that's the question I need to answer, and I can't do that right now.
I know right now, people that have their own personal lock boxes, or if they have Life Alert or a program set up like that,
Yeah.
they have that documentation in the CAD so that anytime someone has already called to them, it's already set up in the CAD system for us to call. And that's another big thing I'd like to emphasize too for security, that, and I understand what you're saying about if dispatch held the code, it's not something that we would keep at EMS, but dispatch only. When that call comes in to that address, it brings up a note that they have a lockbox where it's at, and we would not give that information over the radio, so it wouldn't be heard in the public. You'd have to call in on your cell phone to get that information. So to give someone a little bit at ease mind on that. So
Which we do that now.
already with people that, and there are some people that have lockboxes that dispatch does have in their system that don't have Life Alert, but there's a lot of them that haven't called in and said, hey, for my house I have this. So, and they would be generic, different codes for these boxes. I mean, they're preset. And then, I guess I might finish on, like, if something happened to someone.
We'll let the legal guys worry about the legal stuff. What are you looking at for cost per residence?
Well, I haven't really sorted it that way. The lock boxes we originally looked up, they're like just over $60 each. If I buy 250 or 300 of them from Home Depot, I can get them for like $35 or just under $35 each.
Now, do you plan on letting the homeowner pay for it if they want to or can?
If they would like to donate to the program, we could leave that open as well.
I mean, I realize there's going to be people that can't.
Right.
they won't
No,
want to.
understandably
Right.
so. If they would like to donate, that could be an option. But as of right now, which
You're
we're
providing it as a service is
Yeah,
what you're
correct.
looking to
Yeah.
do.
yes, and it's not just EMS or fire that can use this. Law enforcement, they do welfare checks all the time too,
Yeah.
and sometimes they meet us on scene. Sometimes to emergency calls, and I also like to emphasize that it's not just for inside the city limits. This is going to be for elderly and disabled patients that live out in the county as well.
The whole of Sherman County.
Yeah.
I guess another question, this would be kind of toward Eric. Could this be set up to where, those codes change like monthly or whatever?
That would be,
I don't know
Wow.
what kind of box they're looking at.
Yeah.
that would be a lot of,
Well, I'm just thinking about former employees remember the code and you know. what
so
I'm
if it
saying.
gets moved, like say the person whose house it's on, if they pass away or move, we'll go get the box back.
Right.
Once we get the box back, we'll change the number.
Okay.
Is that,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah,
I
we
think that's what you're
we
looking at.
intend to change the code, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I think it's a good program. Just get the legal stuff sorted out. That's the only thing I'd be concerned with.
Well, we'd like to start off our program with at least 300 boxes. We have applied for match day money. I feel like that's going really well so far because we've spread the word about our program quite a bit. Obviously, we will need more money at some point. And so if we don't get enough on match day, we would like to get enough to match up to what we've asked. We do need a little bit of equipment, which is nothing really, a printer that is portable for us so that we could take it from place to place. If we come to Steve's house and we're going to set up the lockbox on his house, we also want to do a Vial of Life with him. But his writing and your writing, you never know if you're going to be able to read it. So we would like to have them typed out and leave them there, put them where they belong, explain to the homeowner why they need to be where they are. We would like these specific red envelopes for them as well, which right now, if you look at Vial of Life, which Adrian will explain all that, it comes with a sandwich-sized Ziploc bag, which is crappy. We want good, reusable.
I know you
And-
can think back to when they had the folders, like the
Folders or
pill bottle.
yeah, I've got one of them.
Yeah.
So something is just more noticeable. And plus, if the family, if you do pass away or move to a nursing home and the family wants to donate that back to us, they are sanitizable as well. So we could reuse them somewhere else. Trying to think about ways we could save money, not just spend money.
Right.
So I'll let her explain Vial of Life if you don't already know.
I still want your folders. So for Vial of Life, I know Steve, you're familiar. We're looking for the clear plastic folders is what we're looking for right now. Each kit from Vial of Life will have a sticker that shows Vial of Life on it. Yep. And I'm trying to make a user-friendly sheet. This is kind of their basic sheet that they have, like where you should put what information you should have in it. So for Vial of Life, what we're talking about doing is not only if somebody needs help filling out this information, that we can meet with them, do a lockbox and help fill this out. We print it there. We save none of this information. And so that information is safe with them only. Other things that can go in with this are like DNR or any other medical directives that they have, lists of medications, which that is on here as well. But each kit for Vial of Life comes with 2 stickers, one to show on the outside of the home in a front window or a door area, and then one on the red envelope, which we have had some people come forward already, as Melody said, and have been very positively promoting on this program and have wanted to put donations toward getting all the correct information and equipment. We're also planning on meeting up at the the health fair, and then having people stop by our booth and we can do this information for them as well in a secured area.
Nice stuff.
And it used to be something that I think the hospital or someone else did a long time ago, but you don't see it very much anymore. And Vial of Life just isn't for the elderly or the disabled. This is for everyone that has information that needs to be known, whether you have allergies or you have medical conditions, past surgeries, anything like that. When we go into a home and we can find the red envelope on the refrigerator of the home is where our go-to place is for that. We can go in and see, if they're not able to talk to us, are they a diabetic? Is that why they're not responding correctly? Do they have a history of strokes? Things like that can help us in emergency situations to speed that process along with our care that we give. So
Oh, I like it. Sounds good.
Better than the good old days when we'd take a bag and swipe all
the
pill
meds.
bottles into the
We
bag.
do that currently.
Yeah,
And but we don't know if, some people save them pill bottles and put other things in them, if they're the right medications or if they're chewing gum or what.
I've
all.
seen it with candy. When you get up to the hospital to show the doctor, it's like, well, that's
Tic
actually
Tacs.
not a pill.
So I think it's a great idea. The health fair is probably one of the best places to distribute some of this, give people
Yeah, we've already
information.
talked to Jenny Kier and got on the list to be invited to the health
Okay.
fair. It's in April. The other day, she didn't have a date yet. They were going to vote on it. So I don't have a clear date of that yet. And the lock boxes, I mean, did you guys get a picture of?
I did.
I've got, it's kind of split up. I've got the main program here,
Yeah.
one page,
So
and then
The one that we've looked at, that I can find the best reviews on, et cetera, is Master Lock. Here's what it looks like.
okay.
Is it's just a
It's just a
keypad
simple
that
keypad,
opens up the,
no batteries. We did check into that, so we weren't having to go around and check batteries every 3 months or
Yeah.
something.
I've had the opportunity to see them already.
Okay, yeah.
And they do have a cover to help them be weatherproof, visibility proof. If somebody was looking for that, it's just a little black box that looks like when it's closed up.
So really, the only risk is really if somebody comes with a crowbar and pries it off the wall and
Right,
figures out how to open it.
right.
Now, your first stage is you're actually looking for donations to be given a program, right?
Yep, we've applied for one company for some donations and got some money. We don't have the money yet because we've asked them just to hold off for a little bit because we got to get the account information. I had to talk to Ashley about stuff for that. So now that I know what to do with it, we can probably get that money anytime we want it. They're also,
For this.
Adrian's made flyers, and so that we can distribute, letting people know about the match day and about what it is as well. So this needs a QR code put on it, which we're going to have that done hopefully today.
Mhm.
And then these can be distributed at the health fair. They can be distributed at the senior center. We can take them to, different locations where the coffee shop where some elderly men hang out kind of thing, and distribute them. They can run the QR code if they know how. If they don't, they can simply call one of us and we'll help them with it. It'll send them on to the page information, which I think you guys do have, that says the community access and
Yes.
information. It'll send them to that page so they can answer I think there's 8 or 9 questions on there. They can answer those. It sends it into a spreadsheet for us. We can look at it and go talk to these people. It's kind of all linked up, but it's mostly just her and I that are doing this. We didn't want to involve 25 other people because if someone calls, are we going to get our messages? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to make sure we're taking care of the people like we said we would take care of them? So we're going to hold ourselves accountable for that.
Sure.
Now, the only thing besides the QR code, which I've spoke with Chrissy, let them get it dispatched so that we can get their logo on there as well. Just, this has been a teamwork effort to be able to involve county and city entities, since it'll be for city and county. But as soon as I have that from her, which she said we should be able to get that today, I'll have that and a QR code access, and then we'll get it posted on social media as well, at least so we can get the match day stuff going. But as I and Melody have said before, we've had a lot of donors actually approach us about the program already, and have given donations already for this program. So
Good.
So
Good deal.
So we've tried to involve everybody in the Sherman County, from the police to the sheriff to the city themselves to you guys. Every logo that's on there, we do actually have permission to use. We didn't just. That's why we haven't got the 911 yet. We need the email with the permission and the logo before we put it on there.
All right.
I think you're doing due diligence.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for doing this.
And we are working, what's her name at the city?
Oh, we're on
For
our
the notification.
on our little thing that Brett has on our what do you call that, little contract sort of thing. We are listing Mary Volk as our project manager. All that kind of means is we're going to have Mary be the person, because it seems like if someone passes away or moves, the utility place is the first place to know.
Yeah.
And so she's willing to say, hey, so-and-so has passed away. You might want to go get their box. She's willing to do that if she notices, or if someone brings in their contract, like if your mother died, you're going to bring the contract in. Hey, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with this. I think I turn it in here, kind of thing, and turn it in. Then Mary will contact one of us and say, hey, so-and-so has returned their paperwork or passed on.
Plus, I
if you
think
want
we do the burial permits too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we have someone there in the inn that's willing to be our project manager in that aspect.
Okay.
You're off and running.
I hope
Yeah.
we've checked every box.
Yeah.
I think our last thing, we need I think it's called an MOA between the city and the county to work together. Did I call that the right thing?
I
Yes.
don't know if it'd be an MOU or an interlocal agreement.
So something
We'll
to
have
that
see
effect.
if it rises to the level of an interlocal or if a simple MOU.
Okay, so I know that we need something like that as well, because we are working with the city and the county. If we go out in the county to put one on, we may ask Burton or one of his officers to come with us whilst we do that, just for our safety, first of all. And if we're in town, we may ask one of the city police to be with us when we install it as well, which they've offered to actually install them for us in the city.
Yeah.
So just for safety purposes and to hold ourselves accountable for what's going on.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
Well, thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys for your time. Appreciate
You
it.
bet.
So if we need a little extra money,
Come back.
Come back.
Figure-
I think we could
Reapproach
find some,
afterwards.
because you're looking at like $1,800 to get started if you're buying 300.
what's it, $18,000?
Mm-hmm.
10 here or there.
I know. We have asked for 20,000 at match day, because we do know that we need a printer
Mm-hmm.
that we can take with us. It can be a simple plain old printer, as long as we can take it in the house, plug it in, fill in their vial of life, and print it out.
And the Vial Life kits are pretty inexpensive. It just, like I said, it comes with the sticker kits that at least notify us that when we can see it when we get in the house. But
We want to start off with 2,000 vial of lives. That's about $1,300.
Yeah.
Minus the envelopes. The envelopes are about $2,000
Yeah.
because they're $1 something a piece.
Yeah.
So,
Because they're reusable.
mm-hmm.
right. And we did talk to a couple people about those, and they decided rather than just splitting the cost between the two of them, for those, they're going to put that amount of money toward match day, so then we can get double the money, essentially.
Very good.
So
Sounds good.
Do you guys have any other questions for us?
All right now.
All right.
we have your support.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have I wonder if when you put this, if you could put a picture of that little lockbox.
I don't want to do that.
You know, when
No, the reason being is we don't want the whole community to know exactly what they're looking for. If we
Okay.
have some,
It'd be one thing to show it at like the health fair,
We
to show
yeah.
what it looks
to
like.
have
yeah.
one there.
Yeah.
But to publicly put it out,
we think it's a bad idea.
Because then you'd have people going to look, well, that's the ones that they're putting up and make it easier access target, That's why we're trying to figure out the legalities
Kind
on
of
it.
a need-to-know basis.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like
We'll talk with people at the health fair about that
Yeah.
in person, but, would you be okay with that? Or do you see
Yes.
where we're coming from on that?
Yes.
So, alrighty.
Very good.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
thanks.
Mr. Lovelace,
Good morning.
good morning.
Yeah, we're gonna put that in there. We just
It's been a while. Apologize for not getting back here quicker.
Some of us have to work for a living. You're one of them, so.
Well, thank you. Just want to give you kind of an update. This is through the third quarter, the last board meeting. Next board meeting, which is actually this week, moved it up a little bit because of the Thanksgiving holiday. We'll be presenting the budget. So the next time I come here, I'll be able to bring the budget, which I think will be helpful. So through the third quarter, through September 30th of 23, on the balance sheet, the biggest item there is to look at our cash position. We're sitting at about $15 million right now in cash, and still a lot of that was from the COVID. We've had all that forgiven. The only thing that's not is about the last $600,000 from phase 4 that'll actually go through this year's review when we do the when we do our budget for that. Well, not the budget, audit. We'll complete that. So, all right. So where are we at right now through the three quarters? For the month, we had about $3.4 million in patient revenue. Year to date, 29.9, and then with the contractual adjustments and all of that leaves us with an operating revenue, net revenue of about 1.9 for the month and 16.7 for the year to date. So that's all against a total budget for the year of 20.9. So we're pretty much in line. It's just a little bit ahead of the net patient revenue. And we have our biggest expense item, as you're aware of, is salaries, and contract labor is up again. Year to date, $952,000. That's for travelers and whatnot, for help that we need to staff that we can't find permanent staff for. We've budgeted for this next year about $1.5 million to cover that cost, so it's not going down.
No.
So I know we've talked with the college about trying to enhance their educational opportunities for healthcare, and they've kind of been blocked at the state level on a couple of those. RadTech was one of them. Somehow Seward County was able to persuade them that we're in their district.
Okay.
I have yet to see anybody from Seward County. No one from Liberals ever come here to do clinicals. So anyway, I won't worry about the politics, but leave that to the college president has to deal with that. He's done a great job, but yeah, sometimes. Anyway, it gets us down to total expenses, about 1.9 for the month, 16.2 for the year. So for the actual month of September, we had a small operating loss of $1,500. But year to date, we're at $900,000 in the positive from operations, which is pretty fair. Then we get down to our non-operating income, 340B, county support, etc. For the month, $316,000. And then for a total net income, makes it $32,000 for the month. Year to date, $2.4 million. So we're actually doing pretty well for the year. So one of the things that we wanted to look at, we started putting some dashboards together so the board can get quick quick glance at them. What does it cost us in salaries? So we run a comparison here of salary expense versus our net patient revenue. And so we kind of run a trailing 12, 13 months. Right now we're running about 47% of net revenue patient revenue is covered by salary expense. So it takes about, and we've talked about that number before. Our largest expense item is salaries. They're about 52% of our total expenses is salaries. So the state average, by the way, for critical access hospitals is 56%. So we are running a little bit lower on our cost for revenue there. The other one we wanted to look at is we've talked about the shifting in healthcare, moving from inpatient care to outpatient, and that's been consistent for better than 10 years now. That transition to, and I think just to give you the example, some of you have had some knee work done. I know I have. The first knee surgery I had was I was inpatient for a week, and it was an inpatient procedure. Now you go into an outpatient surgery center, have it done, and walk out afterwards. Even total knee replacements are often done now on outpatient services. So, even the hips, some of those are it's amazing what they're doing. But what that's done is shifted our focus from really that inpatient, and you've heard the phrase maybe less heads in beds, and that's really what's happening. So you're seeing, even though we have a 25 bed, and we're licensed for 25 beds, we staff for 12, and our average census is staying around 4. So there's just not the demand for the inpatient care. Anyway, all that said, we are running right now at about 87% of our total revenue is outpatient based. So that would be your labs, x-rays, imaging, clinic, etc. Statewide average is 74%. So we're running a little bit higher even here, which is neither good or bad. It's just where you've got to focus on your business. The other thing we've been really wanting to monitor is our employee turnover rate. And so we're running, just to give you a little background, the state average right now in Kansas is 19% turnover. So basically 1 in 5 every year you have to replace. We're running at about 7% through the third quarter. So we're doing fairly well, but that's still a concern. You got to retain, and that's one of our big focuses is retaining. Our cash on hand, we are running at 280 days cash on hand. The state average this is looking at 27 other critical access hospitals. Can only get as much as people report. There's more hospitals than that, but that's 27 that have reported. They're running at just about 100 days cash on hand. And then taking in the Kansas and Missouri, which is now, instead of 27 hospitals, we have 48 hospitals. It's up to about 120 days cash, but we're still significantly more. And again, that goes back to those COVID dollars, which we've all recognized. We're still keeping a small amount set aside for that last little bit that I told you about that we'll go through this year. Another one of the measures we look at is how long does it take to collect? And I kind of laugh about this. I want to go get my car repaired. They kind of expect payment at the time of service. We don't have that luxury of healthcare. So we're running at just over 40 days, about 42 days in our accounts receivable. That's pretty good. The state is running those same numbers I gave you, running in about 60 days to collect this from the time the patient checks in until we get it billed and insurance reviews it and pays it and so on. So those are just some of the measures to look at. I already gave you the days cash on hand. We're running now, as I said, average census is 3.9, so just under 4. That was for the month. A year to date, we're at 3.8. We're running an average of ERs of just over 7 a day. in the emergency room. Total for the year so far is 1977. And then our visits, clinic visits and our specialty visits are running at about 1,200, just over 1,200. So
Is that a drop or is that a rise?
it's pretty flat.
Pretty flat.
Yeah, and that's one of the other measures that we're going to start really showing to the board is that tracking that, because like we said, if your outpatient is where all the business is, then we need to really be tracking that. So and that's pretty much it
You're
from
maintaining a consistent level of people coming in and out of the facility, outpatient, and your clinics or your specialty clinic is very busy.
Specialty clinic is actually doing very well. We're adding some more, so a couple of notes there. We've got now contracted with a dermatologist, and hopefully we get her in here the first quarter of next year. So that'll be a big help for the community. We've actually hired now a podiatrist that starts the first of the year, Dr. Thomas Eddy, and he's bought a home here in town, and he and his family will be adding to our numbers. So that's good. And that'll be the only podiatrist 7-8 county area here in northwest Kansas, and then another 7 or 8 counties in Colorado and eastern Colorado. So we feel like he wants to do some outreach as well. So we're going to be focused on our hospital here, his home base, but we want to make sure we keep him busy. And he's actually a board certified foot and ankle surgeon, so he's actually can do a lot of the work there that right now is having to go out of town. So he has for the last 10, 12 years been in the Utah area and Salt Lake City area in Utah, and he's been the head of their state's foot and ankle surgery department. So he's
Good qualifications.
pretty well qualified. We're looking for him. His home is originally where he grew up, Syracuse. So that's the big pull. He wants to get back a little closer to. He's got kids now and want to be closer to grandparents.
Yep.
So
Are you still proceeding on the feasibility?
yes, we've actually rolled that into next year's budget to complete it. Our auditors, we approached them to do it, and they said if you're doing USDA financing, we won't do the feasibilities. Great, so got to find another company to do it for us. They don't want to work with USDA.
Wow.
So, which is interesting. Yeah, we're still looking at that, and I think Harvey, that's going to be a 2 to 3 year process, but hopefully during my tenure we get to start and get this done.
Now we noticed that you kind of changed companies too. Is there any major change in services or anything we don't see?
You
Like
mean as
you-
far as Centura?
Yeah.
So just give you a quick summary of all of that. Really, when the Catholic Health Initiative, which is Common Spirit Health, and Advent Health decided to merge and do some work together 25 years ago in Colorado, they formed Centura. So all they've done is they've gone through a divorce and they've separated out. So the Adventist hospitals have gone back to Adventist, and the Catholic hospitals have gone back to Common Spirit. And so Centura has just been absorbed into the Common Spirit. So there's really no change. We're using the parent company name now rather than the joint venture name. And that has no impact on us whatsoever here, because all of our decisions, other than myself and the CFO, are employees of Common Spirit. The board still has higher fire decisions, and they're appointed by you guys. So ultimately, all the decisions are made right here. Centura or Common Spirit now has no ability to make any decisions here. They're a support service only. So we have had one doctor that was coming over one day a week. Dr. Robbins has decided to not renew her contract in Atwood, so we will lose her one day a week that she's been coming here.
I heard good things about her.
She's, yeah, we're kind of sad that she didn't want to stick around, but she wants to go a little bit different direction in her career, and she wants to. I haven't figured out why, but she wants to go into hospital administration. So,
Well, you made it look so easy that, you know.
yeah, thanks, Steve. I have some swampland to sell you too.
Yeah. Just has some green livestock on it, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. But anytime you lose a provider, it's unfortunate. But even though she's not had a lot of impact here in Goodland, it has been some. In fact, my wife goes to her, so.
But that's one of you're constantly looking for more providers. And, you know,
Yeah,
one door closes, another one might open again.
might. We actually have stayed pretty constant. We do have sufficient capacity to cover our needs in the community. Doc Days is still seeing a ton of patients. Dr. Ray has room on his schedule still. Jonathan, Jade, Jessica, none of them are so buried that they can't take on more patients. So we've got capacity still within the clinic. Doesn't mean we stop looking.
Right. And your walk-in clinic in the morning seems like it's, you know, I make sure I get there before 8 o'clock so that you can be first in line to see.
Yeah, I've had days I've had to wait a little bit. I've had days where I've walked right in. So it's just, what's the rush for today? Yeah. So, anyway, anything I can answer for you?
As far as your patient inflow, June, July, August, September, that months are usually a little slower, aren't they?
For the inpatient care, yes. Outpatient, not so much. They kind of slow down a little bit in July for everything.
Yeah.
But that's the month people they've got the wheat in and corn's not quite ready, and people do a little travel and leave town for a little bit sometime in that month.
So I hear a lot of people going to St. Francis or to Coley as opposed to here. Have we done anything to reach out to them and try to find out exactly why and if we could solve some of that?
We actually do track that, and we've heard those same rumors. And if you look at the numbers, it's not as great as people say. But that doesn't mean we don't worry about it. That's the name of the game. When you've got a hospital every 30 miles, I happen to have two of them in this corner of the world, and every community saying, well, we got to be able to pull from all of our surrounding communities, and so they're all trying to do that. One of the things that I know that we have done is we've put a lot more dollars into our marketing budget. I don't want to be out marketed by particularly Colby, who is on the radio a lot. St. Francis, not so much, but I actually tried to recruit the doctor from St. Francis to come down here, one of them, but his wife wants to go back to Idaho, so he's not renewing up there. He's still working, but he's not going to renew. So
What happened to all the doctors at Hoisington when they closed that hospital?
I don't know. There were several that we actually talked to, and they already had jobs lined up.
They knew it was coming. I think.
Yeah, they did. So.
Thank you for your time.
All right,
Appreciate it.
no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good day. Mr. Ritter.
Yeah, I guess what I got is we've been leasing these tractors, and I'd just as soon, if we could, keep one of the leased ones traded off for that oldest one, which is 7 years old. It's this one here. I mean, the DEF system's got a 5-year warranty, and so we start having DEF troubles, it's going to cost us some money, and which, I mean, that's normal. But
This is like the mower tractor.
Right, this is one of them that we've been leasing, and the warranty will start over the day we purchase it. I mean, they don't start the warranty till after the lease is over and it's, so it'll have another 5 years on the DEF system and everything on it, starting whenever we purchase it. And this got the CVT transmission, and this is the last one that we got. This is one of the first ones that we got, and it's got the regular old high-low range, power shift in it, and the CVT is so much better for no one and everything. It works a lot better.
Now, this would be like the one that caught on fire.
No,
one
that was one of the old ones too. You're right. Yeah.
That was like the one that caught on fire.
Yep.
The old
Yep.
one
And this is the
trading
last one of those we got like that. So.
Well, as always, there's a room in your budget.
Yep, there is.
And how many hours do you use normally?
That one's 7 years old, and what it's got.
2700.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably average, If we had to do without leasing some, we'd have to put a heck of a lot more on them, but
Yeah.
for what we pay to lease them, can't hardly not do it.
Well, I would make a motion to approve the quote here from Case IH for the contract amount of $82,000.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded, we accept the bid from Case IH for trade of a 2023 tractor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. There you go.
Okay.
Hey, Rod, while you're here, real quickly, just kind of touch base on Smoky Gardens. Ashley, we did receive the signed copy of the CFAP grant. So that's signed, sealed, and delivered.
Okay.
Department of Water Resources, it's basically been approved to change those water rights over from irrigation to recreation. The only thing that hasn't happened, it's laying on the chief engineer's desk for his signature. But he doesn't, the way I got it from those folks is once he has it, he wouldn't have it if it wouldn't have been approved. So with that said, I guess the next step really would be to start stockpiling some material. Identify the problem areas where you got the most erosion, which I'm going to assume is probably going to be in the southeast side. So start stockpiling material, work out a deal with SPOR. And anytime you guys got a couple free guys, just we'll start stockpiling.
Yeah, where SPOR don't have nobody here full time, I'm sure they're gonna want you to haul nonstop for a while if they're gonna send a guy over here to load you,
Most likely, yeah. But
So,
I mean, if you want to work that out with Jay or whoever you want to deal with, and then track every single
right.
thing to that project.
Mileage, hours, everything.
Everything. Yep. So that's where we're at.
Okay.
What did we think for a number of yards of?
I don't know. I don't remember exactly what we did put on that.
For some reason, we were talking about 800 and some ton.
That might be. Which it don't take a whole lot of loads to make 800 ton.
No.
So.
And I can visit with you a little bit more later on.
Okay.
About, not just putting the riprap out, but laying out some fingers, so to speak, some of the riprap out into the
Sure.
impoundment a little bit.
Okay.
We'll talk about it.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
That's where we're at.
All righty.
Thank you. Do I need
Yep.
to sign that
Yeah. And then give it to Ashley.
there's other people coming for the next appointment, so if you guys want to do some other, like the new business stuff for a minute,
Sure.
please.
Resolution 2310 authorizes participation in the Rural Opportunity Zone Student Loan Repayment Program for calendar year 2024.
Is this exactly the same thing that we've approved before? Nothing's changed.
Correct. So we're authorizing the program to exist in the county, but we're not allocating any money towards it. And in the past, when I first started, the county kicked in money towards it. We don't do that anymore. So like if an employer wants to sponsor one of their employees and pay back their student debt, they can because Sherman County has authorized it. So,
Yeah, I just wondered because, like Section 4, it says Sherman County agrees to pay in equal shares with the state of Kansas. It's like the verbiage is in there that we're paying sharing,
But then it says.
but we're really not because of the zero down
Yeah.
on Section 7. Okay.
Okay.
But this would be like, say, if American Implement wanted to sponsor a student at the tech college. Okay.
I would make a motion to approve Resolution 23-10.
Second?
And moved and seconded, we approve Resolution 23-10. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. Resolution.
Could you guys repeat the name of the resolution, please?
It is a resolution of the Board of Sherman County Commissioners authorizing participation in Rural Opportunity Zone Student Loan Repayment Program, calendar year 2024.
Thank you. Would it be possible to have the name of the resolution placed on the agenda? There was no way for us to see what that resolution pertained to.
Okay, we have Sherman County Economic Development Neighborhood Revitalization Act. Revitalization Plan. This is for,
I guess, has anything changed on that?
Okay, so it's expiring at the end of this year. So I just need to know if we have any changes before we have a joint meeting. If we don't need a joint meeting, we can all pass them separately. Pass to approve it. So it's us, the city, and USD 352. So if you guys have changes, we can have a joint meeting and discuss it. But if we don't have any changes.
Well, from a county standpoint, okay, and this is just clarification, is all. Because I know we talked about this. And up here on criteria for determination of eligibility, on E, it says any applicant that is past due in any real estate tax payment in Sherman County and or special assessment will forfeit any current or future rebates. So that's saying if a guy owns 9 properties and he's delinquent in any one of them. Okay. Okay, now down here in I would be on the next page. It says upon payment in full for the real estate tax for the subject property. Okay, I mean, just that short amount there seems like a contradiction. I guess the question is there a wording problem between E and I?
No, because in I, it's talking about you're not eligible for your reimbursement under the NRP until real estate taxes are paid in full on the property that you applied for.
Okay.
What E is saying is that if you have any delinquencies, you forego any future payments you're basically kicked out of the NRP.
So the bases are covered.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the only thing I've seen that seemed a little strange.
because if I read in this somewhere, You gotta show at least a $5,000
Increase.
increase in the value of the property. And this is a 5-year plan.
Okay, with the current cost of doing business, is that, 5,000, is that adequate anymore? I mean, that's probably turned into
Let's double it.
probably. I mean, that'd be the only question. But if we're okay, you're not gonna get a whole lot done for $5,000.
Yeah. If they're wanting to make that commitment, that's just the base level, and
Yeah.
you go by 2x4s, and you've already met with that.
I mean, unless there's a need to change the nuts and bolts of this thing, I would say I wouldn't have a problem approving it.
I'm in favor of it. We don't have as many, but there are people still applying. We've got people know that there's got to go to the appraiser's office and fill out the application before they can even start doing any of this. There's enough rules and guidelines set in on it that they've got to follow. And then, with the phases of construction and setbacks and stuff, we have an option. If they don't get it done that first year as they plan, they can reapply. So,
Yeah, there's a one-time extension.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will be, once we approve this, it'll be for how long? Is this 5 years or?
So I think it's 3. 21, 22, 23, yeah, so it'd be 24, 25, 26. Unless policy-wise you wanted to change that.
I think we kind of picked that number so we're not obligating another commission or.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was the idea behind it.
And this is not to ask you to renew it today. This is just saying, do you have any changes? I can put it on the agenda with the new
Okay.
numbers and everything in it.
There's a hard copy if you want to scroll them through. Or
No, I'm okay with the way it's written.
or we can go ahead and put it on the agenda for approval at the next meeting.
Say
Thank
so.
you.
Want to go
I
for
think we have everybody for the next.
the Rover?
Come on up, everyone. Katrina?
Billy? Come on. Rod?
Rod's looking for a Rover so he can.
Rochelle isn't here today, but she is in favor of it also. So when I was first hired with the county, I was hired as a rover. And I filled treasurer, clerk, road and bridge, and register of deeds. And so I had one base office if nobody else needed me that day, and then I was split beyond there. So there's enough of a gap between several offices that I put it out there to Rod, Billy, myself, Katrina, and Rochelle to see if there was enough interest, and to Brett, to see if there was enough interest to kind of fill, hopefully trying to get a better applicant pool if it's a full-time position. So it's hard to find part-time help that's dependable and kind of at the drop of a hat, because the thought is this position and this position are probably more of an emergency basis. Kids are sick, unexpected leave, and then somebody needs to fill. I have enough in my budget to be the home office, as long as everybody is willing to take the person occasionally. So it would be another position on employee benefits, which is why we need your approval. So
Because Billy, you would need her, let's say, would you need her one day a month or one day a week or twice a month, or, just depending on what.
Depends on what's going on.
What's
Because
going
I
on.
also have another person that I'm going to start relying on. but she's not always available. So a rover would be wonderful. The right person would be really a good fit for the whole courthouse.
I will make a motion for the approved rover position.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded, approve the rover position. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, motion is passed.
Thank you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Rod, now you know you're gonna have a rover.
There you go.
That doesn't mean, Rod, that when you're short one grader driver, I don't know.
Well, we can try though.
Start her out easy and put her on a truck, right?
There you go.
Okay. Okay. The K-Works annual meeting voting delegate, they just need signatures of who's gonna be there?
Yeah, so last time you guys approved was K Camp and KAC.
Okay.
This is K Work for our work comp. So it's a joint meeting with the insurance, so if I were you, I would have the same voting delegate. That way, two people don't have to go.
Okay.
You can just go.
That's what I would say, have the same voting delegate as the other agencies.
Okay. We can do this.
Is that a motion for appointment?
Yes, that's a motion.
I hear train coming.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that I be the voting delegate. Harvey is the alternate for the K-Works program meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. Okay. There any?
Employee holiday gift. Do you guys want to do that again this year? It's $150 after tax.
I think it's, the employees don't depend on it, but it's a nice gesture.
I would move that we continue the $150.
Is that a form of motion?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. We continue with the gift program. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
And bills and minutes.
I'll
I hope we approve the bills because they've
It's signed.
been all signed, so.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I will second that.
Been moved and seconded. We second the minutes as written. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Gonna approve the bills.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
I will second
Anything
that.
on it?
I guess actually no, it was $223,523.86. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed.
Ready for canvas?
Yep, I'm gonna take a restroom break and then,
Say we can't start till 9:15.
Okay, we'll take a break for a minute.
okay,
10
thank you,
minutes.
Brett.
Recess for 10 minutes? You want to make the motion to recess and then we can reconvene at 9:15?
Okay,
I will so move.
I'll second that.
then moved in second, we take a recess till 9:15. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Recess. We'll go play. canvassing of the election.
Okay, so before we get started, Harvey, you're the one that can see. You'll see up here the public count's 0. So on this stick, there's 0 votes. This is the life of the machine, how many ballots have gone through there. Here. Empty. Good. Okay. Select that. Okay, here are provisional ballots. So what makes somebody provisional? A name change, an address change, not registered at all. We couldn't find them in the poll book. They might have thought that they were registered here. They weren't registered at all anywhere. So on here, it'll say provisional. If they're registered, it'll have provisional and then the reason why they're provisional underneath that. So things like an address change and name change are a valid vote. If they're not registered, it is not. Also, if they have a card that's attached like this, it just shows their history as a voter here in Sherman County. So, any questions before, if somebody wants to go through, 2 people go through and determine whether that vote should count. If you 2 want to go through that and then pass it to Rod, he can open it up and separate the envelopes from the ballot, and then we'll feed them through.
There's no. Call you back later. Okay. So, accept.
Yep. Same thing.
Address change.
Does this tell us their new address?
Nope. The one on the back shows the new address.
Okay.
The card that you see that's the big stack is just their history as a voter.
Okay.
In case you have any questions.
Like we're into the city.
It did it on that one.
Address change.
Does it matter if they put their, or not put their previous residential address on there?
No, it does not matter.
Okay.
Address change.
I guess I can go a little faster.
No, we don't need to get any faster. Rod's got it all.
Yeah, this is taking long enough right here, so.
So that one, Harvey, she was canceled for Sherman County and not registered at the date of election.
So this is not acceptable, right?
Who wasn't registered.
Wasn't registered in time.
Correct.
What is cancer?
So she was registered, we received notice from Florida that she was registered in Florida. And so then she never re-registered when she moved back here.
Change.
Address change. Address change. Address change.
Clerks and bars. Court services. Yeah, it's not. And I just need them to bring this to keep on the calls. And it's technically. Sign that computer pad thing to get it printed there. I think we need to get more balance.
I think so. That's the same thing.
Okay.
So we'll do this one.
Do we have to, we leave it in the envelope?
Yes, you leave it in the envelope.
It goes in and
And then Harvey, if you wanna go get the ballots over there, and then you can start writing them through the machine.
you got to feed each one correctly.
Individually.
One at a time,
Yep,
face down.
either way, there's scanners on both sides.
And you got to wait for it to. There we go. Here they go.
This is really quick.
You don't have anything in here Wednesday, do you?
Great.
You got mileage, but you get to go get more.
All right. Having a hard time keeping up?
Yeah, diabetes.
I did not.
Just inching away here.
Payroll.
How many provisionals
few for the turnout that we had. I felt like that was quite a few. That's the others. $896. Not including these 21. Okay, we have 20 here because the one didn't count. And now we can close the poll. I'll go run the report and we'll be all done.
September 28th minutes from High Plains Mill.
Are you guys cutting on the land resolution? Is that still in Brett's hands or?
We're still looking at it. What I read the other day is 29%.
29% of what?
Public, it's 29% of the land is owned by the government already with CRP programs, wetland programs. Because there was a county in eastern Kansas, I was looking at the emails we get. I think that's where I saw that at.
Like what a lot of people don't know is this kind of stuff's been going on for decades. My grandpa fell into that in the late 50s with the wetlands up in North Dakota. He signed a 99-year lease with the Department of Wildlife. And I mean, do the math. I mean, it's still in effect, which meant you couldn't drain any of your wetlands. You could farm them if they went dry naturally, which there were years we did. Then there were other years when now these they call them sloughs. They're giant potholes, is what they are, and they're just taking up more and more ground. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't drain them if you're under that lease. So and we weren't the only ones. I mean, there was a lot of them signed up for it. So
I might just, so the public can hear, there was, I don't remember if I shared last time, but in Lyon County, I believe, the commissioners were approached with a simple request, but when a concerned citizen read into it, there hidden within was that to outlaw all barbed wire fencing in Lyon County. And they are a grazing, they are a big grazing, ranching county.
Yeah.
So need to watch closely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We have our protections ahead of time.
Yes, thank you very much.
So will the person not registered, do they get notified?
Yes, and she knew it. She knew it when she voted.
Okay.
So the top three school board members are Jonathan Spillmeyer, Brad Bergsma. Nope. It'd be Stacy Price, and then row 5, Jim Gillespie. And 314, and everybody asks because we have residents of school district 314 in our served is,
So then we certify those results to Thomas County. They're the home county. So ours just get added to their totals.
okay.
Ours are not the official
Right.
results.
And then Adam Thompson was the top vote getter. And then J.J. Howard, Ann Myers, and Vasquez Jr. 916 ballots, 25%. Okay. Do we have to have a motion
Motion to approve the official results of the 2023 general election.
I'll make a motion to approve the official results of the 2023 election.
I will second it.
Been moved and seconded, we accept the official results of the 2023 election. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
That's it.
Anything else need to be brought up? I entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
We'll second.
Been moved and seconded, we adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed.